1791. The country, Haiti. Tensions are growing high as everyone looks towards freedom. Slaves are growing bitter towards their masters. Free blacks want racial equality, and the wealthy white plantation owners want independence from France. Soon one man will set into motion a series of events that will change this country forever.
This is Duty Boukman, a slave and a voodoo priest. Boukman was sold to a Haitian owner after growing up as a slave in Jamaica. While in Jamaica, Boukman was punished severely for reading and teaching other slaves to read. Now Boukman is bitter and looking for revenge for all slaves.
Slave in Jamaica, slave in Haiti, what's the difference? If I was the king, I wouldn't have any slaves. If I was the king.
You guys here? About that Boukman fellow?
I heard about him. Something about, what's it called?
It's...
Oh, voodoo. That's what that dark magic's called. It's bad mojo, I tell you.
You guys never seen him? He's the real deal. Doing all this dark magic and stuff. Watch me, it's coming.
You think you can take breaks?
No, sir.
Get down!
Underneath, boy!
Stay there!
Which doctor? We need your help. We gotta stop this nonsense. There is to be a meeting later tonight.
Said there was a gathering for us slaves. I heard.
For too long we've been on the bottom. For too long we've been whipped and beaten, pushed around. For too long we've been slaves.
Yeah!
I think it's time for a little coup. I think it's time we fight back. I think it's time for a revolution.
Oh, slaves, you better work a little faster now. You ain't working fast enough. Getting cold. I'm shriveling up here. It's so cold.
Slaves.
I can cut diamonds. Oh, you Nazis, what are you doing? Stop it, it hurts. My hand.
Le Capitan! Look! The slaves, they are here! Where are they, my general? Look! There! Dear God! They're upon us.
You can't kill the Boukman.
After the slave gathering, Boukman and an army of slaves rampaged across Haiti. They razed plantations to the ground and murdered thousands of people. Victory and independence from France seemed within Boukman's grasp, but his leadership was cut short.
This way! Onward!
Stop! Right there! Time to put an end to you and your little silly revolution!
Not if I have anything to say about it.
Gotta reload!
Time to die, Mr. Boukman.
It is of no higher value to lead an army of allies. Fighting alongside brothers is what it is all about. It is within myself that I am able to rid this corrupted country of such undeveloped ways of running society. It will be a dream worth fighting for when the time nears when all slaves, be of whatever status, become free.
Is it time for dinner yet, Father?
We must prepare to leave afterwards. Is that understood?
Where is it we are going?
It will be discussed after dinner.
My dear, I hear that we are going away. Is this true?
I'm afraid so, my darling.
Where exactly are we going to travel?
Are we visiting any nearby relatives?
Perhaps a quick outing?
I'm afraid, my dear boys, it is neither of those.
Has it anything to do with the rebellion?
What is that, Mother?
Yeah, what is it?
Well, you see, the slaves have been attacking their own masters out of anger.
Why is they angry?
You see, not as many people have been privileged as we are. Your father was very fortunate.
Yes, quite indeed. I was taught how to read and write by my masters, and on top of which, I'm very determined. All those years have finally paid off, and my allegiance with Spain will hopefully bring my cause success. For my family, and for the sake of liberty for all slaves, and this beautiful country.
That is enough for now. It is time to prepare. In the morning, we will leave for Santo Domingo. At least there, we will be safe.
You won't be joining us?
No, there's business which I have to attend to.
This rebellion can go on no longer. I want Saint Dominique up and running in France. Sentinel, I am sending your troops. I expect this to be over by the time you return.
Your wish is my command.
Good. Don't you dare make a fool of me!
And so, Santano embarked on a journey to see if some noble intervention could put an end to the rebellion. After all, the French were losing much of their profits from their colonial endeavors.
I am here by order of the Crown to put down this rebellion. It is sad that our workforce does not feel that they have the rights that we share. But still, I feel it is my duty to show to them my compassion, and I do this by granting all free men of color their freedom.
Yet this action was only taken to increase the manpower to work against the overwhelming slave population. France in no way wanted to change their workforce. But at the same time, war broke out between France and Britain, and the whites of the island did not like that their superiority was being challenged.
Can you believe what that clown Santano is doing to us? Those mixed-race dogs are nothing like us.
They don't deserve citizenship. Hell, they don't even deserve rights.
Are we expected to keep living under leaders like the French? We should take arms with the British.
That's it. Take arms with the British in Jamaica.
Yeah, let's teach these French bastards a lesson with the help of the British.
They won't stand a chance.
We just lost the support of 40,000 men that we needed to fight this rebellion. Drastic measures need to be taken, and I'm afraid Napoleon will not be happy with the choice I have in mind. With much careful consideration and consultation, I have come to the conclusion that all slaves deserve the rights we enjoy. And so with that, I officially grant all slaves freedom.
Did you really mean what you said?
Unfortunately, for the time being, yes I did.
Now, Santano was telling the truth. The official law declaring the freedom of the slaves passed in 1794. Granted, Napoleon was not exactly thrilled by the law, but would wait until much later to revoke it, for he saw its importance.
I do not trust this law.
how are we expected to believe the men who kept our freedom from us the whole time?
This is very true, but I think this is the outcome we were looking for, so maybe it's a good idea to go along with it for the time being.
I realize this, but I still cannot bring myself to trust these guys who bound us in shackles.
I still think we should ally with the French, at least until this whole business with the British blows over.
Very well. I shall announce my formal conjunction with the French.
After over a year of fighting had consumed Haiti, one man eventually rose to be victorious and conquered the island. That man was Toussaint. Allied with the French and the British, Toussaint conquered the Spanish side of Saint-Domingue. For a short while, everything ran smoothly. Toussaint, being the brilliant man that he was, helped to get Saint-Domingue back on track. He started to organize the island and was making progress. He even negotiated a treaty with the British. What are you planning that we must meet? I demand answers, now!
Well, Mr. Maitland, you know as well as I do that I simply cannot have you continuing to occupy southern Saint-Domingue anymore. It ends now.
Well, what are you suggesting, Toussaint?
Well, I have a proposition for you, Mr. Maitland.
I'm listening.
Actually, it's quite simple. You and the British leave Saint-Domingue, and I will pardon any counter-revolutionaries or troublemakers that helped you. We all win.
I will not stand for this! This is complete bull... What?
I strongly urge you to take Mr. Louverture's offer, Mr. Maitland.
I grudgingly accept your offer, dog.
Oh, wonderful. It was a true pleasure doing business with you, Mr. Maitland.
Like I said before, everything was fine, but that only lasted for a short period of time.
Why only have a little power when you have it all?
Not only was Toussaint power hungry, he was also land hungry and paranoid. A disastrous combination. Toussaint eventually had his lieutenant, Jean-Jacques Dessalines, lead a brutal campaign against André Rigaud, one of Toussaint's key rivals. Toussaint thought Rigaud had tried to assassinate him and take Saint-Domingue for himself.
My gracious lieutenant, Jean-Jacques Dessalines, I have an all-important task for you.
Yes, Toussaint. How could I be of service to you?
There is a man, André Rigaud. You know of him, yes?
Yes, I think I've heard of him.
Well, then you already know this man is a grave enemy of mine. He even tried to assassinate me, which I'm sure you already knew. This man wants what I have, and I'm assigning you the task of stopping him and his allied forces. Lead a glorious campaign against this mulatto leader, sever and completely obliterate his forces. Make this dog leave Saint-Domingue and never return.
Yes, sir. It will be done.
Toussaint sent Jean-Jacques to the southern part of Saint-Domingue to lead his brutal campaign against Rigaud. Jean-Jacques was relentless. He and his men murdered innocent civilians and mulatto captives. They did not take any prisoners. Though Jean-Jacques and his men say there were only a few hundred deaths, the death toll varies depending on who you ask. Some say there were as many as 10,000 deaths. This bloody civil war is ultimately what made Jean-Jacques feared and known throughout the land.
Alright, men. We have André Rigaud cornered in this village. Now is our chance to end this once and for all. Yeah! Even though you may not harm Rigaud, feel free to slaughter his people. Do you understand?
Yes!
We go in here, we take no prisoners, we give no mercy, we find André Rigaud, and we bring him back to Toussaint alive. For Saint-Domingue!
Toussaint's forces, under Jean-Jacques' control, succeeded in defeating Rigaud's men. But before Rigaud could be captured, he escaped and fled to France. Rigaud would return many years later to trouble Toussaint once again. Even though Rigaud escaped, this was still a huge victory for Toussaint, and helped start to shape the things to come. Toussaint, like every other human who gets a taste of power, became unwilling towards the French. Although he was still loyal to the French,
Toussaint was mainly in it for himself. He was so power-hungry, he went as far as to write himself a constitution for Haiti.
You know what Saint Domingue needs, Jean?
What is it, Toussaint?
I think we need to write a constitution for Saint Domingue. Gather up a committee and let's get writing.
Alright.
We're here to write an amazing constitution. It's going to be the fairest of them all, and best yet, it's going to benefit mainly me.
Where should we start?
Oh, I know. How about making myself Governor of Saint Domingue for life? That sounds like a great idea.
Oh yes. That was a good idea.
Okay, that settles it then. I'm officially Governor for life. Any other suggestions that we should have on this magnificent constitution?
How about freedom of religion? That's always a good idea.
Yeah, No. I actually don't like all religions, you know? You know what should be on there? Is the outlaw of all religions, except for, yeah, Christianity, that's the one that I like.
Sieur Toussaint, are you sure that this is a good idea? It almost seems unfair.
Nonsense! That was a great idea! How dare you question my infinite wisdom? I have half a mind to have you executed for this! Now, does anyone else have anything they would like to say? Well, excellent then! And let's see, what else would I like in this constitution?
The rest of the convention went on much like this. In the end, Toussaint was named governor for life. Christianity was the only legal religion. All slaves were freed. And last but not least, all property given up during the revolution became property of the government. After the creation of Toussaint's constitution, Napoleon was very upset. Napoleon did not like the constitution for Haiti at all, especially the abolishment of slavery.
My generals, we must discuss Saint Domingue. It is of great importance. You know the leader? Yes? Toussaint L'Ouverture? Well, Toussaint here has overstepped his bounds and must learn who is actually in control.
Well, Signor Napoleon, what do you suggest?
You, my trusted general and brother-in-law, you must travel to the colony and reinstate French rule to its former glory. Also, I order you to restave slavery back to the islands. These last orders must remain a secret. Do you understand?
Yes, sir, Napoleon. I understand completely.
You must go with haste, Leclerc. Take with you all of the troops and the warships that you desire. And I have a special surprise. Take with you André Rigard. He is a French general who has a special hatred for Tardias. And he was defeated by him years ago on Saint Domingue. Now go, my brother, to Saint Domingue and make all of France proud!
The clerk did just that. He gathered a plethora of men and warships and sailed for Saint Domingue. Once he reached the island, he was joined by André Rigaud and his army of mulatto soldiers. Leclerc's forces were so terrifying that some of Toussaint's closest allies defected to Leclerc's forces, including Jean-Jacques Dessalines. Toussaint was offered a truce by Leclerc. He would integrate his remaining soldiers into the French army and would be guaranteed his freedom.
Toussaint, I have an urgent message from Charles Leclerc.
Thank you, messenger. Well, what could this be?
Monsieur Toussaint, this is a letter to offer you a chance to surrender and preserve your freedom. This will be your final chance for surrender, or we will obliterate you. As you already see, we outnumber you, and even if you put up a fight, we will win. Your men are already abandoning you. Even your ever so loyal Lieutenant Jean-Jacques Dessalines has abandoned you. These will be the terms of your surrender. You will integrate your remaining troops into the French army, and we will let you walk away a free man. Sincerely, Charles Leclerc.
Well, it appears as if I am out of options.
Ah, so glad you could make it, Toussaint. Are you here to surrender and stop this madness?
Fortunately, I am.
Well then, I need you to sign here, here, here.
Well, what now?
Now you are being sent into exile! God, stick this dog away!
I am you, the clerk! Why you fighting yourself, you scum? No! No!
Toussaint was exiled to a jail in France, where he died almost a year later. Before his death, Toussaint was able to write many memoirs about his life and time as Saint-Domingue's leader. These memoirs provided a greater look into Toussaint's life. For a while, things remained relatively quiet in Saint-Domingue under Napoleon's rule, but when it became clear of Napoleon's real intention of re-establishing slavery, all hell broke loose. Many former black slaves and other black cultivators revolted against Napoleon and his troops. There were riots in the streets, and amidst those riots, Jean-Jacques Dessalines rose up as a great anti-slavery leader. Jean-Jacques fought many battles against Napoleon and the French until ultimately Napoleon lost interest in his colonies in America and turned his focus towards Europe. This did not happen for quite a while, and during this time, most of Napoleon's army in the Americas, including Charles Leclerc, died of yellow fever. In the end, Jean-Jacques defeated the French, and they ultimately retreated from Haiti. Jean-Jacques then proceeded to crown himself leader of the island.
I hereby ban the buying and selling of slaves. Also, I declare this free republic nation to be known as Haiti by all. And I, at the head of this great nation, will lead us to prosperity. It was because of you people that all of this was possible. It was from your support and dedication and determination that we were able to drive the French out of this island and claim it as our own. I praise and thank you for that, and I hereby crown myself leader of this nation and people. Thanks once again for your support and dedication. The slaves of Saint-Domingue have fought and won. They have won their right to freedom, and from you. This land shall be known as Haiti, and it shall be recognized as its own independent nation.
Well, you see, Monsieur Dessalines, I'm afraid it's not that simple. We cannot grant you your freedom that easily. This kind of thing takes time. So for the time being, Haiti, or whatever you call it, will be under an embargo. We will also require a payment of 90 million francs due to our property loss.
What? You must be joking. We have fought for our rights, and you think you can take it away from us? Make us pay for what we are worth? This is unacceptable.
Again, I am sorry, but there is nothing I can do for you.
Jean-Jacques changed a lot of things in Haiti. He started by making the official name actually Haiti, and not Saint-Domingue. He also made Haiti the first independent nation in Latin America. Jean-Jacques also focused heavily on military because he was in constant fear of the French return to recapture the island. Jean-Jacques never trusted white people, and in 1804 ordered Haiti to be an all-black nation. He had all of the white people on the island killed. Jean also struggled with keeping Haiti a productive island without slavery. He had to enforce laws so strict that they were almost like slavery. Jean-Jacques continued to rule with an iron fist up until his death in 1806, when he was assassinated. The logistics of his assassination were never confirmed, but there were many theories. France finally recognized Haiti as an independent country in 1825, but it was still forced to pay the 90 million francs. This debt was not paid off until 1947. Haiti still lives on today as an independent country, but only in massive poverty, due to the amount of debt it was forced to pay to France.
complete! What? This is complete!
I'm a motherfucker gentleman.
They're coming on! Listen!
Motherfucker gentleman. Motherfucker gentleman. 알랑가 몰라 왜 미끈해야 하는 건지 알랑가 몰라
I ate Milky Ways.
미끈해야 하는 건지 알랑가 몰라 빨리 와서 난리네 알랑가 몰라 난리 나서 빨리 해 있잖아 마리아 너의 머리 허리 다리 종아리 마리아 feeling good
What about freedom of religion?
그냥 헛소리 나게 헛소리 나게 마리아 damn girl I'm a party ball
Don't you dare make a fool of me! Now go, my brother. You take the money. Make all of France proud!
I'm a motherfucker gentleman. Motherfucker gentleman. Motherfucker gentleman. You know who I am. What say? Gonna make you sweat. Gonna make you wet. You know who I am. What say? Motherfucker gentleman. Motherfucker gentleman.
You can like sign an urgent message for me. It's from Charles Leclerc, and I'll be like, my line's not one.
No, I say nothing. No, we need more lemon pledge.
Okay, we go.
Wait,
we're doing it again?
I messed up.
The rainbow. Bye.